Alright, so today we'll be looking at the Microsoft Surface Laptop Studio. I've been using this laptop as my primary device in dental school, and one of the main reasons I switched over to this device is so I don't have to carry two devices, which were the MacBook and iPad before. The one I have here is the base model with an Intel Core i5, 16GB of RAM, and a 250GB SSD. In terms of battery life, I usually get around 6 to 8 hours with my brightness set at around 40 to 50%. For ports, we have two USB-C ports on the left side and the charging port and 3.5mm headphone jack on the right side. Like other Surface chargers, the charger also includes one USB port. The device is deceivingly thicker than it appears, as it has this bottom portion of the laptop that protrudes out that contains the main hardware components of the laptop and vents out the hot air. While they are not as good as the MacBooks, the speakers on the Surface Laptop Studio sound relatively good compared to other laptops, and here's a quick sound test for a general idea of the sound quality. The Microsoft Surface Laptop Studio is Microsoft's latest addition to the Surface lineup of products and is replacing the Surface Book lineup. Instead of a detachable screen, it features three viewing modes: Laptop Mode, Stage Mode, and Studio Mode. These options allow this device to be easily switched from being a laptop to a tablet with ease, and the transition is very fluid. The Laptop Mode is pretty self-explanatory in terms of its use cases, as it becomes a traditional laptop, so it should feel pretty familiar. Typing feels excellent on the keyboard, and the trackpad is one of the best in terms of Windows devices that feels the most similar to MacBooks. It uses haptic feedback, meaning that you are not physically pressing it down, but rather it vibrates to mimic the sensation of pressing down on a traditional trackpad. Another feature I love about this laptop is the 3:2 ratio of the screen. Because of this, you get extra vertical space, which is useful when browsing the web or multitasking with different windows open. The bezels around the screen are on the thicker side, but this is because the device also functions as a tablet, so there needs to be space for your fingers when you're holding and gripping it on the sides. Overall, it has a clean, minimalistic look that should appeal to most people, and the design is very similar to a MacBook, which I've got many confusions with from other people. The Stage Mode is in between the Laptop and Studio Mode. The use cases for this mode is quite limited, as you are still able to use the trackpad, but it covers the keyboard in this position. The hinge that you use to pull out the screen is very sturdy and not flimsy at all. It has a strong magnet on the back that you pull out to release the screen, and the back of it is lined with a fabric so that it doesn't damage the laptop when you stick the screen back to the laptop mode. This mode is the most niche and the one I find least useful out of the three. It's nice for when I'm reviewing my notes since the screen is propped closer to my eyes and is a relatively more comfortable viewing angle compared to the other modes. Overall, I don't find this mode to be too useful, as it isn't the big selling point of this product. Finally, there's the Studio Mode. As a disclaimer, first and foremost, do not expect it to be like a traditional tablet in the sense of portability, as it still has some weight to it and is not easily carried around. However, by setting it down on the table, it's a brilliant note-taking device with a large 14-inch screen, and the 3:2 aspect ratio, as mentioned earlier, really makes it shine. The Surface Laptop Studio utilizes the new Microsoft Surface Slim Pen 2, and there's a convenient magnetic storage for the pen underneath the front of the laptop. The magnet is actually very strong, so I don't feel worried about it falling loose when I take it in and out of my backpack every day. Putting the pen back and hearing the snap is always a very satisfying feeling after a good session of writing down some notes. The note-taking experience is also amazing on this device, as it has a 120Hz screen, so writing on it feels more fluid. The new Slim Pen 2 utilizes haptic feedback as well, meaning that it vibrates to mimic the sensation of actually writing on paper. However, this function is only available in certain programs and not on the main app I use, which is OneNote. I've tried it on Microsoft Whiteboard, and although it is a cool feeling at first, in the end it feels a bit gimmicky. One awesome feature I love about this pen, though, is that the eraser is on the top of the pen, similar to a regular pencil. Erasing writing feels a lot more intuitive, as I simply just have to flip the pen around and begin erasing. There's a middle button and a top button on this pen that you can customize to different functions of your preference. It took a little getting used to using the pen at first, as it's relatively flat, but after a week or so it feels very comfortable writing with it. One big factor on why I went with this device for dental school is portability. Many of my classmates have a MacBook and iPad that they bring to class each day. However, with the Microsoft Laptop Studio, I find it less of a hassle to bring in two devices and having it combined as one without having to sacrifice too many compromises, as it excels in both as a laptop and note-taking device. I love how easy it is to use Microsoft OneNote to upload a PDF file of my lecture slides and immediately start taking notes on it. It is a seamless process, and OneNote works extremely well on this device as they are both Microsoft products. Having a PC as well, I love how OneNote syncs with all my devices relatively fast so that all my notes can be pulled up anytime on my computer and I am able to view them on a larger screen. Overall, the Microsoft Laptop Studio is a great purchase for those looking to not have to buy two devices and have the convenience of simply bringing one device with them everywhere. It's great for productivity use and note-taking, which are the primary uses I do for this device. If you are looking at purchasing a note-taking device that also functions as a tablet so you can review notes in bed or take it on the go easily, then this is not the device that would check those boxes. It is simply not that portable due to the weight and thickness and is uncomfortable to hold over long periods of time. One oversight I didn't consider when I switched from a MacBook and iPad combo to this device is that during my studying, I tend to look up information on the internet while I'm reviewing my notes or lectures. For example, I didn't consider the fact that if there are any terminologies I don't understand in the lecture material, it is not as convenient as having a separate device such as a MacBook to simply search it up on Google and then jotting it down on my iPad afterwards. As a result, I would use my phone as a search tool if I'm not at home with my PC, which is one drawback of having a two-in-one device. Overall, if you're on the market for a new laptop for school and want something you're able to take notes on comfortably without dealing with a separate device, then the Surface Laptop Studio is a great option. It is a little pricey, but Microsoft always has different kinds of deals that cuts the price by a few $100s, making it cheaper than getting a MacBook and iPad. It's a great alternative to a MacBook if you're not too invested into the Apple ecosystem and you're still getting the same build quality from Microsoft. If you have any additional questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and I hope that this helps anyone who's on the fence in getting this product.